I wasn't going to do it, but you all encouraged me. Everyone is loving the use of the song Cardigan at the end of episode 8, and Bonrads are claiming it, which is fine because I maintain that I think the actual songs are often used in a place in the show where they can be interpreted ambiguously. But did you all forget that Cardigan is Betty singing about James and Conrad is literally August? And I didn't make that up. Jenny Han literally, well, she told us that anyway, if you remember this particular post she made in 2023, and it confused me at the time, and I thought that it would be something that would represent the season 2 storyline, but would be dropped in season 3. But Conrad has been visually depicted as August so heavily in season 3 that I don't feel like ignoring it anymore, and we're gonna have fun, so stick with me. So in 2023, when Jenny Han was at the Eras Tour, she posted this story, and I only have this part in my archives, but I'm sure somebody has the whole thing. She held up her phone with a picture of Jeremiah while Taylor was singing Delicate, and that of course made sense to me. She held up both boys while she was singing The One, and that also made sense. And then she held up Conrad while Taylor was singing August. And at first I was like, oh, here she goes. Why would she do that? Why can't we have anything? Because I think the natural inclination would be to think that Jeremiah represents August in this love triangle. Because if you're familiar with the folklore love triangle, it's told through 3 songs, August, Cardigan, and Betty. And the center of the love triangle is James. Now disregard gender because I know you all love to get stuck on that. James betrays his great love Betty by messing around with Augustine. And the song Betty is James apologizing to Betty for what he considers to be the worst thing he's ever done. August is the person he messed around with, reminiscing and reflecting on the time they spent together and how much it meant to them and how they know that James was never theirs. Cardigan is sung from the POV of Betty, and she's reflecting on James and their relationship and how she knew that he would come back to her. And according to the author and lyricist of this tale, Betty and James did come back together. So if Jenny said Conrad is August, the show really shouted that Conrad is August, and I think probably the loudest visual depiction is this dinner scene. So much of Conrad this season is him stuck and lost in the memory, and in this scene, they're drinking a bottle of wine. He flashes back to that guest room scene that you all love, and then Jeremiah comes home. Does that remind you of anything? I could see us twisted in bed sheets, August sipped away like a bottle of wine, cause you were never mine. What about your back beneath the sun, wishing I could write my name on it? Will you call when you're back at school? I remember thinking I had you, but I can see us lost in the memory. One of the very first things we saw in Conrad's POV was him up there on the roof, looking down at Belly's back beneath the sun, wearing that same bathing suit that she wore when she was 16. Remember when I pulled up and said, get in the car and then cancel my plans just in case you called? Conrad did pull up and say, get in the car. And he also blew off his job so that he could stay in the cousin's house with Belly. And then the natural next question would be, if Conrad is visually depicted as August, has Jeremiah been visually depicted as Betty? Has their relationship been visually depicted with Cardigan? The answer is literally yes. And if you want to go there, we absolutely can, because there's actually a lot of, dancing under streetlights and kissing in cars and all that, but